You are watching the Mapping Prevention video podcast series produced by the National Sexual Violence Resource Center. The NSVRC serves as the nation's principal information and resource center regarding all aspects of sexual violence. In this podcast, we talk with Allison Bellavance, Director of Education and Training at Planned Parenthood of Northeast and Mid-Penn, about incorporating healthy sexuality approaches into sexual violence prevention work.
I was drawn to prevention because from a very young age I identified as a feminist. My mom always jokes that I was calling myself a feminist before I really should have even known what the word meant. And I think that what first drew me to prevention was that opportunity to help women. Over the years that I've been doing prevention work, I feel really pleased and honored that I get to help women, men, young people, children. But that initial draw was that feminist appeal in trying to help other women. I think that sexual violence is going to end when we really start taking a larger scale approach. The work that sexual violence prevention agencies do is just critical and amazing work, but it's not work that should be unique to those agencies. I think schools need to be involved, parents need to be involved, many other fields that serve young people, adults in our community. And I think the more we take a collaborative approach, the more likely we are to actually end sexual violence. I think that it's really important to incorporate healthy sexuality education into prevention efforts and dialogue, because the example that I always give is, when we teach young people or anyone about healthy eating or healthy nutrition, we don't just say, here's what you cannot eat. We also say, here's what you can eat. So we need to teach people and provide examples of ways to have healthy sexual interactions, ways to establish consent, and ways that they can avoid the grayer areas of consent and issues that sometimes bleed into sexual violence. So I think that the more we can give people positive examples, the more likely we are to help them avoid those negative behaviors. So the advice that I would give to folks who are doing this work and hearing that healthy sexuality education does not have a place in sexual violence prevention is, I think it's two-part. The first part would be patient. Social change does not happen overnight, and I think we need to continue to incorporate healthy sexuality into the work, even though it might take a long time for everyone to get on board. The other part of the advice I would give is to find commonalities and find points of agreement and work off of those. So if you can get a group of parents to be on board because you can provide a programming that will help maybe reduce the incidence of child sexual abuse, that might be an entry point to eventually down the road do programming with teens around other issues of healthy sexuality. It's just this wonderful opportunity we have to bring the fields of sexual violence prevention and sexuality education together. As someone who's worked in both fields, I feel very strongly that there's just a huge opportunity to collaborate, to share resources, and ultimately to provide better services to the people who are experiencing sexual violence, and maybe make a real difference.
For more information on the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, please go to www.nsvrc.org or call toll-free at 877-739-3895. The NSVRC was founded by the Pennsylvania Coalition Against Rape and is supported in large part with funds from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.